What's up, guys? Matt Brown here, TheLines.com. Got a couple of Monday Night Football games tonight. Start out with the Titans at the Dolphins. Before we get going, everything we do absolutely free here on the channel. So if you do have enjoyed what we do here, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below. Do appreciate the support. Got 40,000 people on this channel, over 40,000 people. If we get to 50,000 by the Super Bowl, going to do a gigantic giveaway here on the channel. So be a part of that. It is 14 in favor of the Dolphins in this game. And if we take a look at the total, sitting about 46 and a half in this thing. All right. So what are we looking at overall in this game? I feel like it's kind of a name your score type game for Miami. And those are really tough to handicap, right? Those are the games in which I'm trying to handicap multiple things. One, the success of this offense versus this defense should be very good. This defense versus this offense should also be good. Miami's defense playing much better of late, and this Tennessee offense just absolutely nothing really outside of Derrick Henry here and there. But again, if you're trailing, which I think that they will be, then Derrick Henry doesn't come into play. But then the third part that you have to handicap is Mike McDaniel going to take his foot off the gas because of the implications now with the way that this has all started to play out. And what I mean in that is Miami is a very real contender for the number one overall seed in the AFC. And, you know, he understands Tua's injury history. Obviously, Tyreek Hill has not been immune from little hamstring injuries here and there, little nicks and bruises and stuff. Obviously, the running backs have been beaten up for Miami as well. So, you know, does he care? Is he going to play them all games? Is he going to pull them early? Is he going to stick them on the bench for the whole fourth quarter, kind of like McCarthy has done at some point in the season with some of the Dallas guys? So it makes the handicap pretty tough, actually. I will scroll down here so you can take a look at the kind of the words of the preview. So I'm just kind of going to go about tackling this game a little bit differently, and I'm just going to go with props. And it's because if you look at Tennessee, their secondary and coverage overall in the NFL, if you put together all of the statistics, it's the worst unit that there is. If you basically take all the advanced stats, squish them all together, then it comes out the Tennessee Titans are the worst secondary in the NFL. 30th EPA per play allowed, pass defense success rate 29th, pass defense DVOA 30th, coverage grade according to Pro Football Focus 29th. So all that equals the best. I mean, all that equals the worst pass defense in the NFL. And, they're going up against one of the very best pass offenses in all the NFL in the Miami Dolphins, as we well know. So long as they're healthy and Tua and Waddle and Tyreek are out there, then they're moving the ball through the air. So I don't want to buy into the narrative stuff, guys, but sometimes things are just real. And Tyreek Hill is 519 yards away from 2,000 receiving yards. There has never been a 2,000-yard receiver in the NFL, and he is on pace to get there. I feel like they are going to get him there this season, if at all possible, and this is a perfect game to set it up to where him getting there is very likely. And so with that, I'm going to go over here to our handy-dandy little prop tool, and I'm going to look, and I'm going to type in Tyreek Hill. And what we're going to look at is, like, you can see his normal props here, right? It's high. I mean, it's 106. You can see the receptions. It's high. You know, longest reception, certainly an option of something that you could play if you wanted to go that direction with Tyreek Hill. We know he can take it to the house. I'm just going to play like the big game here on this. This is not a good betting game. In my personal opinion, just not a good betting game. And so I'm just going to play for big ticket stuff and kind of move on, you know. So for me, I'm going to play a 2-touchdown game for Tyreek Hill. If we look, they don't have the alt stuff here on our little prop finder, but with this, I'm not worried about the 106 here. I'm playing the 125. I'm playing the 135. I'm playing the 150. I'm going to play the alts on his receiving yards as well. That we just get a Tyreek Hill goes nuclear game, big yardage, couple touchdowns, stuff like that. Just playing the playing the 95th percent outcome type scenario for him in this one, and just kind of moving on something to. And here, you're never going to feel dead, by the way, holding that ticket with Tyreek Hill, as we know, because he can take one to the house from 70 at any given moment. But it's just not a lot to love in this game. So I'm just going to play the kind of like the 98th percentile outcome for Tyreek Hill, and that's going to be the way I go about it. You can also put it together in the same game parlay, which we'll look at in just a second. The other one is Tyjae Spears, and the reason I'm going to do that is if I believe that the Dolphins are going to be ahead in this game, and I believe that they are going to be that the Tennessee Titans are going to be playing from behind a whole bunch in this game, then Spears is going to be on the field, not Derrick Henry, in garbage time, catching little dump off passes from Levis, and with all that kind of gets us to in my opinion, a fairly easy over on a 13.5, 14.5 receiving yards. So long as this game plays out like I think it's going to, the spread tells us it's going to play out like that. And so with that, I expect Spears, and like, don't freak out if this is not looking great in the first half. But again, as the lead extends, Derrick Henry's going to find the sideline. Spears is going to be on the field, and we're going to get some dump offs here and should be able to get over the 14.5 with all of that. I will say this, guys, and with the total sitting where it's sitting, I will say this about the number. 47 is the kind of like key-ish number when it comes to totals. We're looking kind of like 43, 44, 47, 51. Under the 47, if I had to play it, I would play the over. And the reason being is Miami can put up 30 plus on their own in this game, and I probably expect them to put up 30 plus on their own in this game, given how easy it is to pass against Tennessee and given how good they are at passing. So you're not asking very much from Tennessee in the game at all to get it over if we're getting 30 plus from Miami. So just something to think about there. And also something you could put, like, again, if you wanted to put into a same game parlay, right? That would be something else you could do. So I kind of just made up a little one here that kind of talks about, like I'm saying, the big overall outcome here for Tyreek Hill. You know, he goes for 120 plus. He gets in the end zone twice. The Dolphins go for over 30 points in the game. And with that, you come out to 675. And it's a pretty good parlay for something that Tyreek Hill has done a couple different times this year. If you don't want to go, you know, the 2 touchdowns for Tyreek Hill, you could also just come and, you know, a singular touchdown for Tyreek Hill. I mean, it drops it all the way down to 325, but I mean, still 3-1 on a prop. And then you could add in, you know, that other stuff that I was saying. I mean, if you wanted to add in the Tyjae Spears stuff, then that could get you back up to, you know, get you back up to the 675 if you wanted to do that. Like, you know, Tyjae Spears, garbage time, receiving yards, the over 14.5 get you back up to the 675 as well. So you can kind of tell the story of a big Tyreek Hill game and still get you into that nearly 7-1 from a same game parlay deal. You know, Dolphins score a ton. Tyreek goes for over 120. He gets in the end zone. This is only once. He doesn't have to get in there twice. And then we get the garbage yards from Tyjae Spears receiving, and then that gets us back up to 7-1 as well. So just kind of ways you can tinker with it to tell the same story to get a bigger payday for a game, like I said, that's not great from a betting standpoint, in my personal opinion, but you can make it fun and figure out ways to get some action down. Of course, if you want to see what everyone else is doing, you can come over here to the lines. Again, it's free. And then up here in the upper right-hand corner, that is the Discord, where everyone will be discussing this game all evening up until kickoff. And maybe you can get a different opinion and get a different look at this one outside of the direction that I am going here. So, like I said, might have a small play on the over, just given, you know, like I said, what I believe is going to happen with Miami. The Tyreek props on the high end of the percentile of outcomes for him, and then Tyjae Spears for some garbage receiving yards at the end of the game. That's where I'm going with this. Guys, good luck on all your Monday Night Football bets.